BeautyandtheStamper.blogspot.com. Hi beauties! Today I'm going to show you how to make a vertical blinds card. So I've got my Secret Garden stamp set, and I've taken out this flower, and I've taken out this flower, and then I've got my Versamark, as well as some white Stampin' Emboss powder. So let me go ahead and show you. I've got one piece of Whisper White cardstock, and that's at 4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to take my Versamark pad, and I've got this flower here. I'm going to ink that up really well and just kind of start randomly stamping. Now you can't really see it unless maybe if I turn it you might be able to see it a little bit, but I can see it from the angle that I'm at, so I'm going to just continue to stamp here and a little bit off the page. Okay, then I'm going to take this bigger stamp and go ahead and get kind of in there. And I want to get a little bit up here at the top. Actually, I think I'm going to use this little guy. Okay, I think that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and put my embossing powder away because I don't, or I'm sorry, my Versamark away, because I don't want the powder to get on there in any way. So next I'm going to take my white embossing powder. I'm just going to go ahead and get that all over here. Just getting that totally coated, and then you just flick it off there. Give it a light little blow if you have to. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and what I'm going to do so that I don't burn my fingers, I'm going to go ahead and put this on a little clipboard so it doesn't blow away and I don't burn my fingers. Then I'm going to take my heat emboss tool and go ahead and just make sure that that melts. So I'm just going to look at it over real quick once again, make sure I got it all, and it looks good. So I'm going to put that off to the side, and I'm going to remove it from my clipboard, making sure that that's not too hot. Now I have this sheet of Whisper White with the white embossing powder. So I'm going to bring out my daubers, and I'm going to make this a Thanksgiving card. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out my colors that I think are Thanksgiving. So I have some early espresso, pumpkin pie, crumb cake, and daffodil delight. And I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is the daffodil delight, and I'm just going to take that dauber, get some ink on there, and just kind of play with where I think I'll want it. Maybe in the centers of these flowers. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start getting other colors, and the next color I think I'm going to get is the crumb cake. Doing the same thing, I got my crumb cake dauber, inking it up, and then kind of just finding spots where I think I'd like that. And you can blend those colors in, don't be afraid to overlap. I think I'm going to go and get some pumpkin pie on here. Now my cardstock that I'm going to be using is pumpkin pie, so I want to probably have a little bit more of the pumpkin pie than any other color. That's my preference, but you could do whatever you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead, again, don't be afraid to mix those colors up. Since I did do that on white, it's going to the embossing powder is not going to be picking up that ink on the embossing powder, so that's why you could still see those flowers through there. Okay. And I'm just going to get all of these leftover spots with the pumpkin pie. I do still have one more color, but I'm going to go over that in just a bit. Okay. So my last color is going to be the early espresso. And that's going to be a darker color. It's going to give it a little bit of depth there. So go ahead and get on in there. Just mixing those colors together. I think that's pretty. Alright, so now it's time to make those vertical blinds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stampin' trimmer, move this out of the way, and I had it at, let's see, the length size is at 4 1/4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces. I'm sorry, I have it at 4 1/2. So I'm going to cut it in 3 pieces at 1 1/2. So I'm going to cut that and remove it, and then I'm going to cut it again at 1 1/2. So if I cut it at 3 and 1 1/2, I'll get 2 pieces of the 1 1/2. I'm going to take my background cardstock, and let me flatten it a little bit more here. Well, where'd that bone folder go? Here it is. Just flatten it really well. I'm going to take my Snail adhesive, and before I actually lay them down, I want to see where I'm going to be putting these. I think right about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Snail adhesive right about there. Then I'm going to put this side down. And the reason I do that is so that I have both sides equally the same. Then I could go through and put the middle piece. Let's see here. There we go. So that's going to be my background. Next I have a piece of early espresso that I'm going to put right through the center here, but I think this is a little too big, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my Stampin' trimmer again, and I'm going to go ahead, right now it's at 2, I think I'm going to try it at 1 1/2 and see where that gets me. If you don't have the Stampin' trimmer, wow, you are missing out. It is so nice. Okay, there we go. You get to see a little bit more of the flowers, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Snail adhesive here. And first, what I want to do is get some of my crumb cake ribbon here. So that is the ribbon seam binding in crumb cake. I'm going to want that to go across. So I'm going to cut myself off a piece a little bit longer. And then I'm going to lay that down, lay this straight across where I want it. Put some adhesive where I'm going to lay that and hold it in place. And then I'm going to put some more adhesive over the top so that it sticks, you know, the ribbon sticks down and stays in place as well. So I'm going to put that right on here. Isn't that cute? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that it is a Thanksgiving card. So I'm getting out my tags for you, getting out my Happy Thanksgiving. As you know, that's one of my favorite sets, is this tags for you with the coordinating labels punch. So I'm going to go ahead and get the block that matches up. Oh, I got the trick or treat. That's not the right one. And then just press it down and it sticks very nicely. Now I'm going to go back and get my pumpkin pie. And I'm going to ink that up really well. I'm going to get a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I save all my scraps, and this is the reason why. So inking that up really, really well. I want to get it nice. I want to get it dark. And I think we're good to go. Straight down and pull up. That came out a really nice color, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and get my coordinating punch. Perfect. I love quick and easy cards. I like cards that look like, you know, store-bought cards. So next I'm going to get my Stampin' Dimensionals out because I want this to have a little bit of pop. And I'm just going to go ahead and place that right there. Alright, isn't that a cute card? I really think it's cute. And I love that we can have all the ink coordinating with the cardstock, coordinating with ribbon. Oh, it's just beautiful. Alright, for more information, tips, and techniques, visit me at BeautyandtheStamper.com. And don't forget, you can always buy Stampin' Up! Products anytime, 24/7 at my online store. Thank you and have a great day. Bye! For more tips and techniques, visit BeautyandtheStamper.blogspot.com.